All right, let's talk about something that's becoming a huge deal for anyone building with AI, LLM observation. We're going to break down how you actually take your model from just a cool experiment to something that's truly production-ready and reliable.
Okay, so picture this. You've been working on this awesome LLM app. It's crushing it in your notebook, right? Everything's perfect. But then, you push it to production. And what happens when it gets hit with thousands of real, unpredictable user requests? Yeah, that's when things can get, well, pretty complicated pretty fast.
So let's dive right in. First up, going beyond the prototype. We're talking about that huge jump from a simple experiment to something that's actually ready for the real world, for the enterprise.
So what is LLM observability, really? Well, I like to think of it as giving your AI a nervous system. It's all about monitoring, tracing, and really evaluating how your LLM is behaving out in the wild. The goal here is pretty simple, right? You need that deep visibility to squash bugs and, actually improve the model where it matters most, with real people using it.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. Your prototype? That's the easy part. It's a controlled little sandbox. You're feeding it predictable inputs, and you're just trying to see, hey, can this even work? But production? Oh, production is a whole different beast. It's chaotic, it's unpredictable, and your focus has to shift completely from can it work to does it work reliably, with high quality every single time. That's a huge leap.
Which of course leads us to the million-dollar question. How in the world do you decode what an LLM is doing? I mean, how do you make any sense of that black box once it's live and interacting with real people? And believe me, the challenges are very real. Like, how do you figure out which prompt led to that really weird off-the-wall completion? Or how do you keep tabs on your token usage, and more importantly, your costs for every single call? If you're using something like RAG, how do you trace a request as it bounces between all those different services? And the big one, how do you fix something when you can't even see why it broke? These are the exact problems LLM observability is built to tackle.
Now the cool thing is, we're not starting from scratch here. The solution is actually borrowed from a super solid concept that's been around for years, distributed tracing. It's been the gold standard for microservices, and now we're just adapting those same principles for the wild world of AI.
Okay, so the most basic building block here is the trace. The easiest way to think about a trace is like a full story from beginning to end of one single request. It follows everything from the second a user hits enter all the way to the final answer they get back. And if the trace is the whole story, then you have spans. Think of a span as a single chapter in that story. It's one specific step or action. So maybe one span is a call to a database, another is the LLM thinking, and another is a call to an external API. It's how we break down a really complex process into smaller, manageable chunks.
And now we get to the really important part for AI, the generation. This is the moment of truth. It's that single call to the LLM itself, and it tracks everything. The exact prompt, the specific model, and the word-for-word response. This is ground zero. This is where you go when you need to figure out what the heck the model was thinking.
Okay, and if you're using a RAG system, listen up because this one's for you. We have the retrieval. This logs every single time your system queries a vector database or some other knowledge base. Why does this matter? Because it shows you the exact context the model was given right before it generated its answer. For debugging RAG, this is an absolute game changer.
So let's recap real quick. The trace is the whole journey. Spans are the individual steps on that journey. Generations are the calls to the AI brain. Retrievals are the fact-checking lookups. And finally, and this is so important, feedback. This is where you find out if your users actually liked the result. Get these 5 things right, and you've got the building blocks for real visibility.
Okay, so we've got the concepts down, but how do you actually do all this? That brings us to the fun part, choosing your toolkit. Let's look at the platforms out there that can give you these kinds of insights.
Generally speaking, you've got a couple of different flavors of tools. On one side, you have these full-stack platforms, like a Maxim AI. They give you the whole shebang, tracing, monitoring, alerts, the works, all built for Gen AI from the ground up. Then on the other side, you have more focused tools. Think Langsmith or Langfuse. These are often tied into specific frameworks and are really, really good at the deep dive debugging and tracing side of things.
And here's a little pro tip for you. Whichever way you go, try to find a platform that's built on open standards, especially open telemetry. Seriously, this is a huge deal for bigger companies because it means you can plug all this new AI data right into the monitoring tools you're probably already using. It saves a ton of headaches.
All right, enough theory. Let's get down to brass tacks. How do you actually put this into practice?
We're going to walk through a simple 5-step framework you can use to get this set up in your own projects.
Step 1, instrument early. Don't wait until you have a problem. Build this in from the very beginning. Step 2, standardize your logs. Seriously, just pick a format and stick with it. It'll make your life so much easier. 3, use metadata like crazy. Tag everything. Use your IDs, session info, model versions. This is what turns a messy log into a goldmine of searchable data. 4, and this one is so important, track subjective metrics. Don't just look at system stuff like latency. You have to capture user feedback, the thumbs up, the thumbs down. And finally, number 5, automate your quality checks. Set up scripts to run regular evals so you can catch when your model's quality starts to slip before your users do.
And when you do all this, the payoff is huge. You go from flying blind to having this incredible dashboard with real-time data on everything: cost, latency, quality, user feedback. It's a total game changer for how you manage your AI.
Okay, so this brings us to the final and maybe most important point. We're calling this the new non-negotiable. Because let's be honest, observability isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. For reliable AI, it's an absolute must.
There's this great quote that just hits the nail on the head. Reliability in complex AI systems is the result of disciplined AI observability. What does that mean? It means you can stop searching for some mythical perfect model. Instead, you focus on building a solid system that lets you understand and manage any model you're using. So at the end of the day, here's the bottom line. Observability is what takes that unpredictable black box and turns it into something that delivers consistent, measurable value. It's the essential bridge you have to cross to get from a cool prototype to a successful product.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought. Your AI is running in production right now. Ask yourself, is it truly observable, or are you just flying blind with a black box and an API?